All right, welcome back to the 100-day live guitar practice streams. So today we are on day 39. So thank you and welcome back. And as always, I invite you to join along, pick up your guitar and, learn some tips and tricks from me that I'm going to demonstrate today. As you can tell by the thumbnail, today we're getting into some major and minor chords, and then I'm going to try to get into some major and minor scales as well. So I know we've done some major and minor chords in the past, some other exercises where you like slap the thigh and things like that. You can check out those videos if you'd like. But today with the major and minor chords, I'm going to get into the CAGED system. So I think that's a good way of learning the other chords and not having to stay, right up here in this section. You can take the A chord down here. You can take the G chord, down here. You can take the D chord down here. You take the E chord down here. So all those C, A, G, E, and D chords, you can take them really anywhere on the neck, I have discovered. So I'm going to play with that a little bit more, just to get, more comfortable with it. Start being able to visualize and get comfortable with seeing those shapes, and those chords in the various spots. So, like for example, you got the C chord up here. It's just C, E, and G notes that ring out. So if you can just go anywhere else and find the C, E, and G notes, for example, here. Sometimes I like to play it string by string just to make sure it's ringing out properly. Because as I'm still learning my bar chords, sometimes I don't get it to ring properly. So I like to do like that just to make sure it's sounding, pretty decent. So see, that was also a C chord, and it's way down here. So you can play another C chord right here if you do it in the D shape. So it's very interesting. It's the C chord, but you're using the D shape. See that shape? That's this same shape right here. See, I just took this finger off because way up here it would be, fretted above the nut, so not necessary. But you take that same shape and you just come way down here. And now you cover this one. Or wait, that one. There you go. The C chord in the D shape. So just a little demonstration there. We're going to start with C because, we're doing the CAGED system, right? So we'll go C, then we'll go A, then we'll go the G, then the E, then the D. And basically just trying to find those chords in the different spots on the neck. So here we go with C. So then we know the next C will be in the A position, meaning your hand will make the A shape. The A shape, but you'll still be making the C chord because as you go right here, you got your C, E, G, 5th fret, right there. C, that white one, that yellow one is the E, that green one is the G. C, E, G. Those are the 3 notes that you need. So as you start to play in any other position, though, this is why your bar chords are so important. So you got to play all 3 of these at the same time, but then you still got to bar this back here because those are G's and a C. So you got to bar that. You got to get all the C, E's, and G's that you can. Something's probably not ringing out there. So we work on the bars also. So we got C, C. And then you come down here and you make the G shape. So first we made the C shape, then we made the A shape. Now we make the G shape, right? We're spelling caged, C, A. Now we're on the G shape. So here we're making the G shape, right? If that was up here, that would be the G. Sorry, here we go. That would be the G shape. You normally play it with these fingers, but it's the same thing. As you slide it down and get it on those C's, this E here with your middle finger, and then you reach back and bar, fret away to get those other C, E's, and G's. This one's a hard one. The G bar chords, those are really hard. Those are going to take some time. It's just a lot of pressure on the wrist. You're already doing a lot here, but then you got to reach with this bar here. I don't know. It's just a lot for that wrist there. So, but there we go. We got C, A, G. Now a little bit easier one, the E shape. So C, E, and G. Boom. So there you go. And then lastly, in the D, right, you got C, A, G, E, D, caged. So we just left the E position here. This is a C chord in the E position. Now here's a C chord, lastly, in the D positioning. See that? So that's C in every position on the neck. Well, I didn't go down here yet, but I'm learning this part of the learning this part. So that's C in the C position, C in the A position, C in the G position, C in the E position, and C in the D position. So caged. Now you can do that same thing. And that's what we will do, the same thing. Now we're going to move on to the A chord though, right? So you got your A chord. You need A, E, and C sharp. So again, I like to play my A chord with this free index finger because what comes next? Bar chords. So you got your A here. What comes after A in the word caged? C-A-G-E-D. So if we're already in the A position, it's going to be the G position next. So here's the G position, and what do you know? It's also the A chord. It happens to have the A's. It happens to have the E's. It happens to have the C sharps. So that's what your middle finger is fretting here. It's a C sharp. So then again, all the G's with this bar are pretty difficult. And further this way, the bigger the stretch is, right? As you come down here, the stretch isn't so drastic. But I'll have to work on that off camera and not hurt my wrist and waste a bunch of time. But man, yeah, so there we go. Man. Anyways, after the G position, what comes next? C-A-G-E. So we're still making the A chord, but now we're going to be in the E position, right? This is the E chord. Slide it way down here and cover up the A note, the E note, and this C sharp note here. And then bar everything on frets 5. And there you go. You got an A chord again. Okay. So you got A chord. I'm not going to do the G because it's really hard. And then in the E shape here. E shape, but still an A chord because of the notes that are being played. It's an A note, an E note, and a C sharp note. Those 3 notes combined create the A chord. So after the E position, what comes next in CAGED? The D. So now we come over here, find the next sequence of the A, C sharp, and the E. Okay, it's down here. And your fingers will be in the D position, right? If this is D, slide it all the way down here to where you find the notes A, C sharp, and E. Put your little bar here, but we only need the first 4 strings, right? On the D chord, you're only playing the first 4 strings. So that's the D. D shape, still the A chord. Okay, what comes after the D in CAGED? Well, nothing, but it repeats. So it'd be the C. C, A, G, E, D, and it just starts over. So C. So you want to make the A chord way down here? Well, you would do it using the C shape with your fingers. A, C sharp, E. A, C sharp, E. So there you go. There's your A chord in the different spots on the neck of the guitar. So again, with this CAGED system I'm trying to display here, trying to teach, it allows us to not have to remain playing everything right here. It allows us to play, things here, here, and here, and even further down here. I just focused on this on the top half here. But yeah, so that's the A chords in the different spots. You got it here, you got your G shape here, you got your E shape here, you got your D shape here, and then you got your C shape here, although it's still making the A chord every time. So, all right, so we've done C, we've done A, now we need to do G. So here in the standard position, we've got the G chord, right? Beautiful. So what notes are making up this G chord though? We've got the G, we've got the B, we've got the D. G, B, D, right? So as using the CAGED system, we can understand that, okay, this is a way to play the G, but if we need G, B, and Ds, well, here's a B, here's a G with my pinky, and here's a D with my ring. And if I just bar this 3rd fret here, that gets me my G's on the low and high E strings, and the G's are part of that G chord, right? G, B, and D's. As long as you're fretting G, B, and D notes, you're still playing a G chord, even though you're in a different position. So G chord in the standard position, and then a G chord with the E position. See, and it's easy to know what's coming next, even as you switch to these other chords, because we started on G. So what's next? E. Or if we start on the A, the next way to play the A chord would be in the G position. Or if we start on the C, the next way to play the next C chord would be in the A positioning. So you make your fingers do the A and then bar. So it's really easy to remember. All right, so we've done C, we've done A. We're working on G, I believe. So yeah, we did G in the E position. So what do you think is going to be next? C, A, G, E. So next is going to be the D position, a little bit lower somewhere. So look for those G, B, and Ds. Oh, there they go. Here we go. 7th and 8th fret. Yeah, G on the 8th fret, your B and D on the 7th fret. And then you can bar this other one. So that way it's on the 4th string, 5th fret, G note. G note. G chord in the D position. So again, multiple ways to play these chords moving around the fretboard if you understand the CAGED system. So that's the G chord in the D position. What comes next? C. C, A, G, E, D. We're in the D positioning here. So we start back over with the C shape somewhere a little bit lower. So look for those G, B, and D notes. There we go. Making the C shape. About that. And then you can bar this 7th fret here, because those are also B's on the low and high E strings. See, if you don't bar it, terrible, because then you're not ringing out the proper notes, right? This is a B. If you bar it, if you fail to bar it, it's just an open E, right? So G chord in the C positioning. And then lastly, we would have the G chord in the A positioning. So you got your G, B, D all right here in a row, all crammed together, where it's hard to fit your fingers. So I'm trying to learn a new way of doing it when it gets like that, where I think people just use like one finger, but they're covering multiple strings with that one ring finger or that one middle finger or whatever it might be in that given scenario. But so I'm trying to fine tune. See, that's not good. Not perfect. When it gets a little further this way, you're like, oh, this is a big stretch and these suck. And then you get down here and your hand's a little bit more relaxed. So that's nice, and a little less on the wrist or whatever. But then everything's closer together. So then you have to readapt and refigure things out. So it's just an interesting little game that you got to play with learning this thing. You learn something and then you relearn it, and then you fine tune it and you kind of relearn it again, and it gets a little bit better. So anyways, so yeah, there's the G chord using the A shape way down here, and you bar it again, right? So that's the G chord in the different positions on the neck of the guitar. So that was G. So we've done C, A, G. Now we're going to do E. So you got your E up here in its standard position. Okay, so what is the note makeup of an E chord? E, obviously, and then it's a G sharp and a B. So E, G sharp, and a B. We're already in the E position. So the next E is going to be in the D position. So slide it down. And we're looking for E, G sharps, and Bs in the D positioning. Oh, there it is. Boom. And then we need E, G sharps, and Bs. E. So come back here. Remember the D positions, D shapes, always playing just the first 4 strings. You don't play string 5 and 6. Try to keep those, silent. All ringing out pretty good. So there you go, your E chord in your D shape. Okay, so what do you think would be next then? If you're already in the D shape, bring it back home. C, start the word again, caged. So E, G sharp, E, and then you need your Bs. So if you just bar this whole 4th fret here, that gets you your G sharps. So this is an E chord, but look at the hand. That hand looks like it's a C. But if it's in a different spot, it's cool. The CAGED system is great. So C, G sharp, B notes all ringing out to keep that E chord, even though we're in a C positioning shape here with our hand. So if we're in a C position shape with our hand, and we're using the CAGED system, and we want to play the next C, well, it would be in the A positioning. So this is where you got to get your fingers all scrunched up. And there they are, E, G sharp, and B. But then where do you put this bar? Well, wherever the E, G sharps, and Bs are. Well, it looks like it'd be right here. You got some Bs on the high and low E strings. So there you go. Yeah, I need to work on this ring finger playing 3 notes all by itself. So this one's doing some barring, and this finger's also doing some barring. So I can't fit all my fingers all crammed in there very easily. So trying a new technique where I just bar using one finger. So I'm trying to fine tune and find where that positioning. So there we go though. We got the E chord using the A shape. Okay, so then next, if we're already in the A positioning, we would go C, A, G. So here's the G shape, right? E's on the high and low, 1st and 6th string. Then you got to reach back with this barring 1 fret away. I can't really do these G shapes very well at all, to be that honest, but yeah, it just hurts my wrist way too much. There's something with my technique that I'm doing wrong, or I don't know. Maybe the G shapes just are, yes, they're a thing. They can be done, but it's really for people with maybe big hands, or maybe it'll come later down the line. Because if you've been playing guitar yourself, when you first shown this C chord, that was like, man, that's such a stretch. When you're first shown this G chord, you're like, man, that's kind of hard. That's such a stretch. And over time, your muscles get used to things and everything's okay. Maybe it'll be like that, but we'll see. Yeah, those G positions are hard. I don't mind the G position here, but the G positioning anywhere else, it's not bad by itself. But when you got to bring in that bar, I don't know. I gotta work on that. All right, that's the E chords in multiple positions on the on the neck. So then what do we have left? C, A, G, E we just did. So now we're on to D, obviously. So D up here in its standard natural position. All right, so you got D, F sharp, and A's ringing out. D, A, D, F sharp. So, all right, so if you want to play the next D chord using the CAGED system, where would you go? Well, if you're already on D, you'd wrap it back to the beginning of the word. So you'd be a C shape. And there it is, using your D, F sharp, and A's. And then you bar the frets behind. So there you go. D chord using the C shape, however. So if you want to play the next D chord, you're already in the C positioning with your hand structure, your hand shape. So you go from the C to the A positioning. So this is where your fingers are all crammed together, right? So you got the D, G sharp, and A. Then you bar, you skip a fret and bar a fret away. And A's are a little funky too. G's are almost impossible for me right now. The A's, I can do a lot of fine tuning and work there, because I think I can just bar, you know. I need to learn how to bar with my other fingers. I've been learning how to bar with the index, the main bar, but now I need to learn how to throw some bars in there, especially with this ring finger I'm learning, especially with the CAGED system. So when you got to do those A positions, it's really hard to get three fingers crammed side by side. So getting this ring finger more active should be able to perfect my A position chords all over the neck. But there we go. That's a D chord in the A shape. Need a little fine tuning. And then we got, so if we're already in the A shape, we want to play the next D chord, we would go to the G shape. So boom. F sharp, hit your D's on the low and high E strings, and then a fret away, you bar it. What a stretch. All right, as we know, my G positions aren't too strong. You got to throw in that bar. It's pretty tough. But anyways, that's the D chord in the G positioning there. So there you go. It's a G shape with my fingers, right? That would be the D chord still, because you're playing notes D, F sharp, and A's. So then if you're already in the G shape, lastly, where do you go? You go to the E shape. So you got your D, F sharp, and A. Then you bar the frets right behind it. So that way you're still making that E shape with the bar chord. And you play that out. There you go. So that's the CAGED system. Very slow introduction there. But again, you can play the C chord here. You can play the C chord in many positions. You can play the A chord in many positions, the G chord in many positions, E chord in many positions, and D chord in many positions using the CAGED, CAGED system. So I've always been practicing my major chords all up here. And now that I'm kind of wrapping my mind around this CAGED system, I'm going to start trying to, get quicker and get better at knowing, okay, where exactly is that E chord down here? Okay. It takes a while. So I want to get quicker at that. So I want to start being able to do, A chord, A chord, A chord, A chord, C chord, C chord, C chord, C chord, E chord, E chord, E chord, E chord. You know what I'm saying? In the different positions, and make it kind of quick so that way my brain really knows where all these different notes are. That's why that fretboard memorization is key. I need to get back into some of those exercises. Maybe in a couple of days I'll do some fretboard memorization drills that can really help with that. So stay tuned for that. But so that's the CAGED system. Real quick, if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel so that way you can follow along and see how good I get once we reach day 100. And then you can also stay tuned in to pick up all of these various exercises that I'm showing, so that way you can adopt them into your daily exercises as well. So that way you can continue improving. So it's always good to learn from other people and see what their skills are, see what they're doing, things like that. So stay subscribed. I would greatly appreciate that. Also, comment below on the exercises that I'm doing, on the video, anything that I'm putting out there, any comments, criticism, constructive criticism, polite criticism is always greatly appreciated. So go ahead and leave some comments. I'll be sure to read those and respond accordingly. So those are always greatly appreciated. I know people are watching. I know somebody, cares enough to say something. So that's always a blessing to have. And then also, even if you don't like it, go ahead and boop the like button. Give me that thumbs up so that way, keep circulating around the YouTube network, YouTube algorithm. So anyways, after that, I just wanted to go ahead and get that in there one more time. Remind people to subscribe. Now let's go ahead and get back into the reason that we're here and playing this guitar and trying to improve. Actually, let me get a sip of my chá here. Portuguese. Chá is tea. Man, I filled this right to the brim. My apologies. That's great. As you can see, I'm still rocking with the Pura Vida vibes here from Costa Rica. I got this hat in Costa Rica a couple days ago now, about a week or so ago now. But had to fly to Costa Rica for best friend's wedding from high school, and had a great freaking trip there. So I'm still rocking the Costa Rican vibes. And actually, in my tee here, you can't really see it, but in my tee here, there's actually some that's a pineapple was covered in honey, and it's from the Nicoya Peninsula, or Nicoya region. Sorry, not peninsula. It's like the Nicoya region, which is like a blue zone. Which blue zones, if you're not familiar with what blue zones are, it's zones around the world where the life expectation is higher than everywhere else in the world. It's like into the 100s. So there's a couple places in Japan. I didn't know there's some places in Costa Rica, and there's quite a few of them around the world. But the people in those regions, just on average, they live to be into the 100s, 110, crazy things, 118, some stuff like that. So it was pretty cool. We picked up some honey while we were there, and brought it back, and now dipping their lovely fresh fruits that are also soaked in honey. Oh, so good, so good. Anyways, I love my Costa Rican time, so I was very, very blessed and happy that I was able to be a part of that. So anyways, let's get back to why we're here and get into some kind of switching paces here now that we're on the second half of the video, right? I want to get into some major and minor scales. So we were doing major and minor chords with the CAGED system. Now we're going to get into some major and minor scales, which I have not practiced these really much at all. So this is kind of new to me. I'm just kind of learning how the major and minor scales are formulated and how they work. So I'm still wrapping my head around those things. Still kind of foreign to me. So I got kind of have some notes up over here on the screen. So let me there we go. So the formula for it is whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. So 2 whole steps, a half step, 3 whole steps, a half step. And then that last function there, the last half step, that's actually the return to the beginning. So really, if you're just going whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, that's it. Once you go back to that other whole step, you're kind of like wrapping it back around. So, but anyways, that's the formula for the major scale. So again, whole step, half step, whole step, half step. So if I wanted to play let me see the A major scale here. So the A major scale, using that formula of whole step, half step, whole step, half step, we could play, if we wanted to start here on the A note, for example, let's play the A major scale, right? And I'm still learning this myself, so again, bear with me. So we got A, B, here, let me do it with this. Start with the middle finger, playing the A, 5th fret. So you got A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, wrap it back around to the A. So again, we got a whole step, right? If you're going from A to B, that's a whole step. You're skipping over that A sharp, so it's whole step. Another whole step, you skip over that C and go to C sharp. Then you'd have a half step and go to D. Then you'd have a whole step, so you go to E. Then you'd have another whole step, so you go to F sharp. Another whole step, you go to G sharp and bring it back home with that half step. And then they're on A, right? Playing the A major scale. So starting here on 5th fret, low E string, you got A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. Right? So you're just using that formula. You don't just go A, B, C, D, E, F, G with the A major scale. You have to follow that formula, which is whole step, half step, whole step, half step. So again, 2 whole steps, a half step, 3 whole steps, a half step, whole step, half step, whole step, half step. See what I'm saying? So I know with these live streams, I can't like put up, displays and things like that. It'd be nice to bloop, and then you got, the A major scale, or bloop, you got the CAGED system kind of explained, or things like that. With these live streams, it's just recording straight through, no going back and doing any editing or color grading or anything like that. So it'll be cool once I get done with this 100-day challenge, and I'll be kind of educated. I'll be kind of decent at the guitar, right? I won't be on stage performing and making money, but I'll understand the guitar a little bit. So then I can make some better quality videos. I can, get a better camera. Right now I'm just shooting off of my laptop still. So maybe buy a camera on a tripod and record that, not live, record it. Then, take the memory card out, put it in the computer, bring up a editing software like DaVinci Resolve, make some editing, make some little, pop up some words on the screen, things like that, really make it nice quality. So that's to come later. So another reason to subscribe, because right now these are just, again, live streams, but to come later, I'm not just learning the guitar, I'm also learning YouTube. So, and I'm learning what's working for my cameras and my videos and what's not working, right? I am understanding as I look back on some of these videos, even when I put it in high definition, I'm like, man, why is the camera quality, not so sharp? It's kind of still grainy. Well, it's because I'm using my laptop camera. Okay, boom. That's something I need to purchase to improve my videos. You know what I'm saying? So it's all a learning curve. It's all a process. It's all a journey. So anyways, I'm gonna take one more sip of this amazing tea here. All right. Great tea with Nicoya honey from Costa Rica. Okay, so the major scale. A major scale. Can't go through all of them. Obviously not enough time. It'd be a lot longer video. But with the A major scale, we've got, starting with using your middle finger here on the A, which is the 5th fret, low E string. They're the red dots on my stickers. So you got middle finger here. And then since it's a whole step, you don't need to use your ring finger. You skip it and you use your pinky on that B note. So you got A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. And then you can go backwards if you really wanted. I don't know if I can do this, but let's try it. So you got your A, G sharp, F sharp, E, C sharp, B, A, G sharp, F sharp, E, D, C sharp, B, A. I did do it. I would not have done that if it wasn't for the cheat sheet of these stickers. If I had to memorize and know, I don't know. These stickers I highly recommend as a complete beginner. I highly recommend it. And then maybe, later down the line, buy a different guitar, grab a different guitar off the wall or something like that. Me personally, I will go out and purchase another one. I do not intend to play that one too often, not on a regular basis where, I will get it off the wall here or there and play it once I get a little better. But no, I will buy another guitar once I feel like I've gotten out of the beginner phase and kind of into that, still a novice, still a beginner, but kind of the intermediate phase, I guess I'd call it. Then I'll probably get a different guitar. So that way when I'm practicing and playing, I am kind of working on the memorization subconsciously, right? Right now, if I, need to figure out what's that note, I just look at the sticker and I'm like, oh, okay, boom, that's an E note. Oh, okay, boom, that's an F note. But once I buy my other guitar in the future, I won't be able to be like, oh crap, what's that? That's a D note. No, I'll have to do some type of memorization strategy, whether it's knowing this note and going this direction, or whether it's knowing, that I need this and knowing and starting here and counting this direction, or whatever technique I use, right? I'll have to, recall that from the memory bank, which I think will in time really help the memorization of the neck. So that'll be later down the line once I, get a different guitar. But for these first 100 days, as you're a beginner, definitely recommend some stickers. Anyways, back into the major scales. A major scale. I'm not going to do B, C, D, E, F, G, all those other ones right now. Actually, I guess you got, according to my notes, you've even got some B flat major scales, some D flat major scales, E flat major scales. So there's some flat major scales in there also. So interesting. Here in a second, I'll get into some a minor scale, the A minor scale. I'm just going to start with A's, right? I don't know if that's the most popular or not, but that's just what I'm going to do. So with the A major scale, again, I'll do the A minor in just a moment. Try to talk on that, but we got A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. So again, it's A, but then it's a whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, whole step. Try that again. Whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step, half step. All right, so you got whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step, half step, half step, whole step, half step. Okay, I'm getting better. I'm understanding the formula. Whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step, half step, half step. Okay. Whole step, half 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 step. Okay, it's the A major scale. Now I'm going to try to get into the A minor scale and understand that one a little bit better. So with the A major scale, again, the formula was whole step, half step, whole step, half step. Again, major scale, whole step, half step, whole step, half step. With the minor scale now here, we've got whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step. A little different, obviously, right? So you got whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step. W, H, W, W, H, W, W. Whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step. So let's see. If we wanted to then play the A minor scale using that formula, right? It would be lovely. Notes. So you got A, B, C, D, E, F, G. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Well, it's just A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then it just repeats. So if you're going whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step, repeats it. whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step. A minor scale. So you got whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, half step. Can't get this one down just as easy as the major scale, but I will get it. I will get it. I want some of that pineapple. Okay. Come on, get this down. Whole step, half step. Okay, so it's ones. Whole step, half step of ones. Whole step of twos. I'm trying to think of a pattern. Whole step, half step. Whole step, half step. Whole step, whole step. Whole step, half step. Whole step, half step. Whole step, whole step. Whole step, half step. Whole step, half step. Whole step, whole step. Whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. Whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. Whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. A minor scale is what we're trying to practice now. And remember that formula has the whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step formula. So if you want to start on A, to do the A minor scale, right? If you want to start on B, you can't play the A minor scale, right? You got to find an A note. So once you find an A note, you could play it here. Then just know that it's a whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step. But yeah, you can play it anywhere. That's the cool thing. Once you get this down and really, really, really wrap your mind around what's going on, you can kind of flow and play and have at it. That's again why I am so intrigued with not learning songs right away. Again, this is just my opinion. Other people will have their own opinions, obviously, right? Other people might want to get right into songs, listen to something that they enjoy, trying to play something that they enjoy. Maybe that's really cool and fun to them. But for me personally, I just want to get comfortable with this thing. I remember when I very first started playing the guitar, I literally had this around my neck like this, playing the guitar. And one of my friends messaged me and was like, you don't play the guitar like that, right? And I was like, no, clearly I didn't know that. So yeah, I'm just trying to get comfortable with the guitar, right? I'm just trying to where it's not foreign, right? You get on like a skateboard or something like that, and you can barely even kick push. Like, I'm just trying to be able to kick push and roll around. I am not trying to do kick flips down, 5 flights of stairs and grind on rails and all those types of things just yet. That'll come. But yeah. Anyways, yeah, I just wanted to demonstrate how I first held the guitar around my neck. A friend had to advise me that was all wrong. So thank you. Always, please correct me. Anyways, real quick before the time runs out, I'm going to finish off this hour session a little bit more on the minor scale, A minor scale. So again, it's the formula: whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. Starting over. Whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. Again. Whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. Starting over. Half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. Start again. Just kind of repeating it, trying to imprint this in the brain. So we got whole step, half step. Eventually I'll get smoother with it, of course. But again, the A minor scale, formula for it: whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. Starting over, it would be whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. Whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. So the A minor scale is actually really, really nice. I don't know about the other minor scales, but the A minor scale is very easy to memorize because it's literally just A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Just play all the whole notes. Don't play any of the flats or the sharps or anything like that. Just, yeah, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Wrap it back around. Start back at A. So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Wrap it back around. We're already on the A, so it'd be B, C, D, E, F, G. Wrap it back around A. A minor scale. So a couple more times. A minor scale. Again, formula: whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. So that's the A minor scale for you, and really the formula for any minor scale that you want to do. If you want to start on the B note or the C note or the D note for the D minor scale, that's fine. You can still start there on the D minor scale. Then it would just be, right? It would just be D, E, F, G, A, B flat, C. So as long as you still follow that formula, you'll still hit the same proper notes. So anyways, that's it for today. That's a wrap on the major and minor scales with the CAGED system, and then got into some major and minor scales. So we did the chords for the CAGED system, and then the scales for the scales part. I'm getting all tongue twisted here at the end, trying to wrap it up. But yeah, so that's it for the day. We did CAGED to start, and then we went into some scales. So just a reminder real quick, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. It means a lot to know that people are following and maybe learning something. So that's always greatly appreciated. You can also just continue following my content, see how good I get, continue picking up practice drills and exercises that you can adopt into your own practice. So go ahead and subscribe. Also comment below. Let me know how I'm doing. Get conversation started. Other people will, start chiming in too once, comments get flowing and things like that. So get a community of like minds speaking by commenting below. And also go ahead and hit that thumbs up, hit that like button for me. Even if you don't like it, help a friend out. Hit that like button for me. That's always appreciated. And yeah, until next time, go ahead and watch one of these other videos floating here in the screen. And other than that, I'll see you next time. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. Take care of each other and yourself. I love you. I'm out.